Hello there, this is Starling, the game we started in the last episode. You crash in a world with no color, and you collect star cores to fuel your ship and bring that world back to life. Last time we built Goomlands, which is the Dark City. Today we unlock World 2 called Skyreach. And this world has its own mechanic. You press one button on your keyboard and the gravity flips. Every asset here was created with Makko, an AI art studio used by thousands of game creators, and the logic's gonna be built by Claude Opus 5, the most capable and affordable AI model right now. Spoiler, this world looks just awesome, so let's get started. Okay, so here I am inside Makko, and well, I have the collection from the previous pirate game, and the collection about the game we started in the past episode. So I started out by creating a new sub-collection for the World 2, and well, of course, I have another sub-collection for the past world. That, well, as you can see, looks very awesome. So everything in Makko starts from concept art. Here's a summary of it. This was episode 1, as you can see, everything pretty dark, and we already have a style that was kind of defined, okay, for the whole game. Now, based on this initial concept art, I created this other one for episode 2, that, as you can see, feels consistent and also looks very, very cool. This is the concept art that I basically uploaded to Makko, then generate image, and over here I can select any of these concepts, for example this one, and then over here in the prompt, I could say something like, give me just the enemy that is on the ground on the bottom right. I'm referring to this guy over here. And Makko, as you can see, 100% understands these requests and is able to give me that exact same enemy in the exact same consistent art style. This is the concept image, and this is what Makko gave me. Then I just clicked over here to save this character, for example, and then I changed from image to reference sheet, and here, okay, I can select it on my gallery and create a reference sheet. As you can see, this will give me front, side, and rear view of this character, which will then allow me to switch to animation mode, select it, and say something like the enemy walks. And this, as you can see, will give me exactly that. And well, in order for your image to appear here, you just need to click over here on save, and then save it as a concept image. And I basically repeated this process, okay, for the entire game, as you can see. For stuff that I need animated, I would just change to reference sheet and create the different views. And I would take this reference sheet to the animator, and I would just start creating the different animations that I needed. Super easy, super straightforward. For example, let's take a look at this dragon. I can click over here on open, and this will load in the animation editor, where I can directly preview the animation, and well, for example, set its size. We don't need it like super high resolution, so something like 15-12 pixels works just fine. And then, okay, in a sample rate, I recommend 12 FPS. Once again, this is just to try to have the best performance when we need to actually bake the sprite sheet, because then what you will end up having is something like this. So you have the reference sheet, okay, and the different sprite sheets, okay, with the different states that your characters, enemies, whatever are gonna be having. Once that you finish creating everything, you can directly export everything. If you go to the game assets section, click export and export again. In literally 2 clicks, you can have all on your disk. This gives me, on the one hand, the different props, as you can see, the different animations, and even the reference sheets. Ready to drag and drop inside Godot and start building. And actually using these sprites is super simple. I just need an animated sprite to the node, and over here I click add frames from sprite sheet, and after selecting my sheet, I set how many horizontal and vertical frames I have, select them, add them, and here I have my dragon, which as you can see looks super awesome. Take a look at that dragon, come on. More stuff that I'm gonna be needing are some platforms, okay? And for this you just need to tell Makko, for example, create a sheet of separate floating stone platform pieces. It's a very, very simple prompt, and it will just give you something like this. Of course, you still need to select as a reference some of your concept images so that it understands exactly what type of platforms you want to create. But it's amazing how it can actually understand, as you can see, the aesthetic of your game. This looks super consistent. And another thing that I've created are parallax layers. In our parallax background, we're gonna be having a total of 4 layers. Basically, the idea is that this is the background, then on top of this, we're gonna be having this other one, on top of this other layer, or well, something like this basically, and this one also on top of everything else. You will actually see this better in Godot, but well, the result's gonna be very awesome. So then I also have organized some of the assets, such as environment, the new ship, some UI icons. And also my idea is that the player has a new kind of charge animation that is gonna be for a special attack. More on that later. And well, the enemies from this new zone, okay, 2 of them. And lastly, the boss. And sorry, one more thing, the NPCs, we're gonna be having this guy at the very beginning of the level and this other guy over here. That my idea is that at the end of the level, once that we defeat the boss, gives us a choice between 2 skills or 2 power-ups. So as you can see over here, it's not just telling the AI, okay, create my next episode, create my next world. It's not like that. You actually have to think a lot, generate a lot of assets, have an actual idea behind. So once again, the AI is a copilot, a helper, but you are still the pilot of the creation, okay? Now inside my Godot project, I installed Godot AI, which is a free and open source plugin that you can download 100% free directly from the asset store. This will allow Opus to, for example, go ahead and open scenes, create new ones, add nodes, etc. Basically things that by default it can do. Not only that, okay, but I also have here a docs folder, and these were the docs for episode 1 with the concept and all that. But episode 2, well, also has, of course, the concept images and also a build pack that is basically the game design document that is super long, okay, about how the world should look like, about how to use all the different assets from Makko, etc. It will basically guide Claude to achieve the exact result that I want. So, okay, here I am inside a Claude desktop, Opus 5, and in effort, let's go with ultra code. And by just telling it create world 2, it's gonna 100% understand what I mean, because it basically already has the context over here of what world 2 means. And here is the result. Okay, I wanna move and see everything. Oh my god. Okay, so first we have this NPC. It's only one direction, the most. Press F and stop agreeing. You will fall up and land on. So with F, we flip the gravity. Okay, it looks awesome. I can't believe it. Okay, so we collect the coins. And okay, we have the enemy here that kind of attacks to us. So that is amazing. Okay. And okay, we can attack to it. Okay, as we already had in the last episode. There it is. And take a look at what happens when I walk. Take a look at that parallax effect. That is awesome, because you can see we have indeed these different layers, okay, that they move at different speed, and that gives the sense of depth, okay. Whoa, and I really love this mechanic, okay, of being able to flip the gravity, okay. I'm running super low on health, so I'm wondering if I can do it like this. Come on, do not attack me. There it is. That's cool. And let's now go over here. Okay, we have the other guy flying. Is there any way to dodge it? Oh, it's coming for me. Let's do it like this. There it is. And now let's collect it like this. That's cool. Remember that with shift, okay, I can use this kind of like a special ability. There it is. I have the other guy over here that is flying around. So how do we do it? Let me think. Let's do it like this and like this. Oh my god, no! Come on. Okay, let's try again. There it is. Boom. Shift. Come on, man. Okay, there it is. Come on. Let's try to collect it. There it is. That's cool. Let's move. I can't believe I love walking in this world. I could be here all day. I love the parallax effect. Come on. Okay, let's go over here. Let's flip here. And oh, okay, what is this guy over here doing? Okay, so this is the boss. Okay, yes. And okay, now we have to defeat it. Okay, it's coming for me. Let's go here. Let's try to dodge it. Okay, it's attacking me. One more. There it is. Oh, wow. It looks so good, man. I can't believe it. And supposedly now, I should have an NPC here. There it is. And this guy, you brought the color back. I have been standing here a long time waiting for someone to do that. And I need, as you can see over here, one more star core. So this guy should give it to me after I choose one ability. So we have collapse, hold Q to charge. This is the new attack. Release to slam the sky down. Or also counterweight. Carry your own gravity, F twice in the air instead of once. That is very good. But I do think that collapse is a little bit better, at least now, because, well, it's a new attack, okay? So I do want to try this out, so let's take it. And, okay, so we have come back over here, and over here, as you can see, I can, like, recharge the ship. And, well, there it is. We have completed it. I can't believe it. Now what I do wanna see, okay, is this new collapse attack, because supposedly what it should do is that, for example, if I have this guy and also the other guy that flies, let's see, it should come over here, right? No, but there should be another enemy, because this attack, what it should do, here it is basically kill everything in sight, okay? So let's try to do it over here. As you can see, I am recharging it, and now I can release it, and bye-bye. That is super good. So let's say that I wanna kill this guy over here without fighting. I can recharge it. Let's do it over here. Come on, come on, come on. And oh man. Let's go again because it dealt damage to me. There it is, there it is, there it is. And bye-bye. That's super cool because, for example, this guy is super disturbing for me. So let's kill it in the distance if we are capable of doing that. Come here, little boy, come here. There it is. Bye-bye. I love that new attack. Wow, yes, I love walking in here. Take a look at this. It's so good. It's so good. And well, actually remember that in the first episode we created World 1. So in reality, you start over here. So you play, okay. You also have to collect these different coins. You have to also defeat here some enemies. And well, you also have different NPCs and all these. So let's go over here. Come on, perfect. Jump, jump. And we also have like a wall jump implemented, as you can see. There it is. I really like this mechanic. And here we should be very close to the boss. Yes, there it is. Here is this boss. That also looks very, very awesome. So let's defeat this guy. There it is. Come on, come on. One more, one more. Come on. There it is. And well, this guy gives me the last star core. And when I come over here, I can reactivate the ship. I can board it. And this basically unlocks Sky Reach, okay, which is the second world, okay, that we've just played. So this is like the story, okay, but well, in this case we worked in the second world, okay, and of course in episode 3 we're gonna be working on world 3 and more stuff, okay. But well, indeed, world 2, I believe that what it has that world 1 doesn't is this parallax background that just looks awesome, and this mechanic of flipping the gravity is amazing. And take a look at the scenario. Wow. Once again, the cool thing is that if I want to modify anything, I don't know, I want this star to be over here, and this guy, instead of being here, I should be able to select it. And for example, as you can see, I could modify its position. Or also here, take a look at all the data that the AI has created for the enemy. So I could even flip it, okay, so that I could directly put it in the roof, for example. So I can literally customize everything. And the background, that is definitely like one of the biggest things that look the best in the game. First of all, okay, I have to generate like the different layers inside Makko. So once again, remember that I have a total of 4 layers in this case. And then over here, what Opus did was creating different parallax to the nodes. And as simple as that, you just add a sprite to these different layers. Then you assign a scroll scale, which determines the speed, as you can see, and each layer has its own speed. So the elements that are further away from the camera, for example, this layer that, as you can see, is the sky, moves at a velocity of just 0.15, whereas the elements that are on the foreground or closer to the camera, they move faster, in this case at 1.4. And that's what gives us as humans, okay, the illusion that the background has some kind of depth, when in reality, as you can see, it doesn't have any depth. And as a result, when you move, if you actually pay super close attention, now that you know this trick, you will understand what happens. So these things at the very front of the camera, let's say, they move way faster, as you can see when I move the camera, than, for example, these elements in the background, okay? Now, I do have to say, okay, that I actually spent endless hours on this, going back and forth with the AI. This is just one chat, okay? And I ended up having like maybe 5 or 6 different chats, okay? So I wanted to discuss how much this episode cost. Let's start. In terms of art, I spent close to 900 credits in Makko, 17 animations, 21 images, and 3 reference sheets. And as a result, if we take this pack as a reference, this is close to $15. So actually the art itself, let's say, that wasn't that expensive. And for the quality that we got, and to be 100% honest, we didn't have to regenerate a lot of things because everything was based on reference and concept images. I think it was very worth the money. And then, well, here we can see a breakdown of, for example, animation, image, reference sheets, etc. Okay, and of course, what is the most expensive to generate are animations. But well, in total, art $15. But of course, what is the most expensive is Opus 5 itself. And even though it comes at half the price of Fable 5, it's still super expensive to use, and even more in Ultra Code as we've used it over here. Session 1, as you can see, ran for close to 4 hours total. I was literally all day here. In API cost, as you can see over here, it would be close to $300. Session 2 was about 1 hour and a half, $150. And session 3 was about another hour and a half and was about $100 in API pricing, okay? So in total, just Opus itself thinking was about 6 hours and a half, and it was around $550 in API pricing in terms of cloth. But once again, remember that here what we tend to use is just a subscription, so it is just a reference, okay? In this case, I was using Max X5, which is $100 a month. So I believe that right now, the tools themselves are not the expensive part, but deciding what to build is, and having a clear vision of exactly what you want to create, having a plan, okay, creating the different concept images. Because if you don't have a clear idea, a clear path that you want to follow, you will spend way more credits in Makko and also in Claude Code. So it is super important, okay, that you actually build a plan, write a plan with Claude, create consistent assets in Makko, and that will actually give you super good results at a very good cost. So this is all for today's video. I am super happy with how this game is turning out. And well, in the next episode, we're gonna be adding world number 3 with also its unique mechanics. I'm sure it's gonna turn out super well. And if you wanna start using Makko, you will have a link in the description down below with also a unique discount code for you. See you in the next one, and bye bye.